Welcome back, everyone, to episode 15 of the Mexico series. So, our debt is going down. Uh, our public debt was at about 59 billion. It's now down to 45. We have a $37 billion treasury reserve, and our budget has an excess of 137 billion. So, we're going in the right direction, but still need to deal with inflation. Um, Probably hit like around 7% at one point. So we got it to go back down. We maxed out the interest rate. So we're going to have to do something with the taxes. So we're going to go up on the inheritance tax. So that has 78% approval. I'm going to make this into a reform. And we're just going to name this tax code 2024. We're going to create that. Company tax. That was way too high to begin with. So we're going to lower this to... Do I really want to lower it that much? Let's just lower it to 33%. Then our company turnover tax, we're going to raise that to about 5. Then financial transactions, we're just going to raise that by 0.25%, which is basically your sales tax. Alright, hit the wrong thing there. Alright, and let's see. I'm going to increase the tax on gambling by 0.3. Pornography tax, we're going to raise that to 35. And then industrial pollution, we're going to raise that by 1%. So we raised taxes by a lot to an extent. So need to try to balance that out a little bit. So let's go with 13.5 or see 13.7. That's roughly 2.5 billion. See, I don't want to lower it too much because then it's just going to make the raising taxes pointless. But yeah, let's go with 13.8. All right, so that's done there. transportation. All right, so road transportation, we're going to invest about 1.7 billion. And what about crime? All right, so let's look into. All right, so we have more surveillance cameras. I forgot the amount that we raised it to. Let's see, sexual violence. All right, let's just kind of wait a little bit. Okay, a new head of the army.
Funeral will take place next week.
Emotion competes with pride when I look at this building. Before us stands the expression of our national genius. Yes, let us not mince words. This is a sacred fire, which stimulates our architect's vision and drives the passion of our building professionals.
Okay, so we would like to increase trade with Venezuela. So let's go to industry. And we're going to bump this to... Oh, no, that's the United States. Let's close that out. And let's make this 20%. And all right, let's see about farming. Let's go with about 15% for that. And let's go to energy. Let's make that about 15. And service, we'll do about 12. Let's just see how that pans out with... Alright, so that immediately improved our relation with Venezuela.
The bill has been voted on and the law has been passed.
Okay, the anti-sleep molecule. So are we the first ones? We're not the first ones, so we'll just keep that to ourselves anyway. Space Probe Operations Center, we'll keep that to ourselves.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations that we made last month. This is an excellent figure. Our economy is flourishing, our production increases.
Alright, so unemployment has raised to about 7%. Alright, so normally that would be bad, but I was trying to make it higher. Let's check the inflation rate. Alright, so it went from 5.44 to 5.39, so that's good. So once I could get it down to between 2 and 3%, or just a little bit over 3, then I'll start to slow down with everything. And then the high taxes that brought it down, I'll start to slowly lower them. Let's see. So alright, so we have a $42 billion surplus. So at the end of the next quarter, we should be able to pay off, actually, We have 37 billion now, and we owe India 28.5 billion. So let's go ahead and pay that off. Are you kidding me? So we have 714 million left. Guess that's including the interest rate. Or not including the interest rate. So at least we got that down, and so this surplus should go a little higher. We lowered public debt by about 2%. It was said about 45 and some change. So we actually would like to increase relations with Russia. So let's go here. Alright, so we already have that with Russia. Alright, what about... Okay, China is good. Sure, we don't have anything for service, and we don't. So let's just make that about 15%. Same with Russia. Our service sector, and we'll make that about 15. We are not the first one, so we'll just keep that to ourselves. So let's check our energy supply. So we have an excess of 176 terawatts. Consumption is 253 terawatts, and we have a cap of 422, so that's good so far. Let's go back to industry. Alright, so what's the deal with our workforce? So we have 332. Actually, I almost forgot. Let's check on our nuclear program. So we're enriching uranium, and it's going to take another 199 days to do so. So we're on the road to becoming a military nuclear power. It's just going to take some time. Let's take a look at the crime rate.
The vote was held and the reform was adopted.
Okay, so that reform went through. Let's take a look at our growth. Alright, so that slightly went up. Hey, that inflation is dipping down, so that's a good thing. I'm trying to limit what how much money I actually spend, so I can help bring down some of this inflation that was pretty much my fault. I overdid a few things in the very beginning. Spent way too much than what I should have. I should have been a little more moderate than what I had been. Alright, unemployment figures 6.6. We need that to go up even more. Cyber attack?
We have resisted the attack. The protection systems, especially in companies, are up to date. Very few victims to report overall. The fortification of our security software in our government and vital infrastructures turned out to be very effective.
Alright, so we need to find out who tried to cyber attack us. The technology truths. Alright. Alright, unemployment went up to 8.33%, so unfortunate for the country, but good as far as helping this inflation go down. So it's going down to 5.28. So that's good for us. Overproduction of electricity is in itself a terrible waste. Capitalize on it by offering to sell electricity to other countries. Okay.
We were able to trace the source of the attack. It is a criminal organization in this country who is responsible.
Oh, so it was the U.S., huh? Let's see something. So if we were strong enough, I would do a series on taking back our land from the American-Mexican War, which reduced the border from all the way through here down to what you see today. But Mexico's military is can't even match up with the U.S. I mean, look at the military might there. I mean, that's more than half. Not to mention, we only have 118,000 so far. So let's see, how is the recruitment going? All right, so we're almost meeting our demand. Or not our demand, our objective. I would like to get commandos up to about 25,000.
We were able to trace the source of the attack. It is a criminal
All right. Okay, what else? Okay, our surplus went from 40 something. All right, so this went back to 45 instead of 43. And this dropped down to about 25 billion. So let's see. Yeah. All right, so we do need better internet. So I'm gonna be really moderate and just gonna increase that by, let's see, just concentrate on Mexico City first. So increase that by 1%. All right, favorable change in Guyana. presidential elections. All candidates are now known. Alright, so let's take a look at this. See the candidates here. So it looks like, yeah, she's from our party. I believe that's, yeah, it's definitely our party. Popularity, job seniority, charisma is 96, health, moral character. She has no morals. That's pretty bad. Alright, so high alcohol tolerance. Indebted to the state. Scandal embezzlement. Conspiracy theory. Alright. This is going to be interesting. Alright, you can still campaign for our party by establishing a political agenda and participating in meetings. This will help the party candidate to emerge victorious. Okay. Alright, so let's hit this inflation. Oh wow, that's gone down by a whole lot. Alright, so... Alright, so Guyana, so it looks like the bulk of South America pretty much stands with us. We have a good relation with the entire continent, with the exception of... Who's this? Ecuador. Alright, so Ecuador... Let's lower this by 10% for energy. Service, we'll drop this by 10. Industry, we'll do 15. And farming, we'll do 15. So that should yep. That quick it improved everything. Alright, so El Salvador. What's the deal with them? Alright, let's see. Center right, so it's probably a difference of ideology that's causing the conflict. They have 24,000 troops. One naval base, one air base, one land base, or army base. And they probably have some troops here, so... Alright, so who wants to meet with us? Bangladesh. So, meet with them. Um, let's try to improve some of the housing. Let's try to keep this. Well, let's do about campaign promise. Wonderful. Alright. United States discovered an anti-hair loss molecule. Okay. Alright, so let's speed this up some. And I'm mainly doing this so I can control the inflation. So the more time that goes by without me really spending too much, it's going to help bring that inflation down, and then I could possibly start trying to grow the economy, but a lot slower this time.
Good morning. I didn't.
Alright, so they want to sell us cotton. We consume 351,000. We produce 217. No, we're gonna refuse.
I'd be happy. Sure.
Alright, so growth is going down. Alright. That's good.
We are awaiting your instructions to direct our...
Alright, what's the uprising for? Conspiracy theory. Ah, that's great. Alright, so let's do some tear gas there. And let's do some reinforcements there. And let's get everyone here. And again, we'll do the tear gas and we'll converge in on those people. These guys can go ahead and how did they get by and why did they just stand there? Where are they heading to? Alright, so this isn't good. They pretty much wiped out our police department. So I have no choice but to send the military in now. We have a 100% approval rating, so we can afford for it to go down some.
Situation is not in our...
The rebels have stopped fighting.
According to your directives, the fire...
Dear compatriots, I address you from the studios of the main national television network that is now under our control. On the terrain, our insurrection movement is in the process of winning the battle. We are officially calling all life forces and dissenters of this country to join the rebellion in the capital to end the current regime once and for all.
Oh, really? Okay. Alright, so let's see if we can put that guy under surveillance. What's that? Vincent. Alright, so let's put him under surveillance. Place a person, other party. Yeah, there he is. Trying to put him under surveillance. See what we could get on him. And let's check inflation. Alright, so I believe that was 4
The situation is critical. The assailants are beginning to enter the palace.
So, alright, well, we're gonna send these troops over. Alright, so alright, so we took back the presidential palace. Alright, so this has gotten a bit out of hand.
We have subdued the rebel.
Okay, so finally got it under control. Alright, I can't really do too much because it's a campaign promise. So, let's just try to fast forward the time. And we'll see what happens. We'll get closer to the end of the quarter.
The target is in position and under surveillance 24/7. Data collected by our agents will be regularly updated into the synthesis report that you will be able to review on file from now on. Good reading!
Alright, so... Alright, we got public debt down to 44%. Alright, that went up by 2 million. So let's see what our finest. Alright, so growth is at 3.62. And what about inflation? Alright, so that's still dipping the way we like for it to. So if it goes down by another percent, then I'll start cutting back on the interest rate and see how things start to balance out.
I'd like to congratulate you in person for your popularity. The way the country trusts you moves me.
Alright, out of curiosity, what is our... Okay, so the crime rate is at a standstill. Let's fight against sexual violence. Are you kidding me? Campaign promise. Cancel that. Let's see. Political party. Alright, launch a fundraising campaign. Alright, we'll do that. Not sure when their election is, so that may have been something I should have done ahead of time. Alright, so that deficit is... Alright, budget. Public debt. Got that down by about 200 billion. Structural surplus. Okay. Alright, so may just try to go by another week or so, and let's see. So whoever the next president is, I'll just continue on. Hopefully it's from the same party. In fact, let's go and yeah, she's still the top. But why isn't she campaigning for herself? Alright, so... Emerson needs to work on this, because she should be campaigning for herself. I'm not running. Yeah, I can't change anything either. So I'm about to... Alright, price of oil. Alright, so that's a campaign promise. So I'm pretty limited to what I can do right now. Are you kidding me? That's a campaign promise. Alright, so let's speed this up by another week. And after this week goes by, I'll probably end this episode. But I'll probably do the next one a lot sooner than what I usually do. Alright, so growth is at 3 point. Actually, let's look at unemployment. So that's at 7.1%.
Just to let you know, our fake news has lost its appeal and will no longer be covered by networks.
Okay, inflation is at almost 4%. So that's really good. That's a big improvement from where we were at before. And the good thing is I haven't really had to make any adjustments with the taxes. I pretty much just left it there. Oh, I didn't even see that. So let's give 1.5 billion and see what happens with that. And not really caring about Canada. Let's just close some of this other stuff out. Alright, so we have an earthquake and a wildfire. Give 3 billion in aid for the earthquake.
We have just found out that the population affected by the disaster is in a very precarious situation. Must have lost a...
Okay, we gave more than enough for that. Give an extra $987 million for that, so that should help with that disaster. And let's close this out.
In memory of the victims and out of respect.
I will accept that. Finally. Alright, so inflation's at 3.9%. So that's extremely good. That crime is not going anywhere. I'm a little baffled by that, especially with the number of police that we have. And I maxed out internal affairs and political police, which should cover the corruption in the country.
Our agents based in that territory, in coordination with our cyber analyst and network control services, are working to start a large conspiracy theory campaign in the country. You can now...
No, we're not going to do that. Alright, so I'm going to end this episode. Accomplish some of the goals that I intended to. And South America as a whole like us, so that's pretty good. So I will see you soon, and hopefully I'll be able to do another video a lot sooner than what I usually do. So take care, and thank you for the support for everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't already, please do. It'll help with the channel. Take care.